To record your experience at Countryside Day using Book Creator, first of all, collect your images that you might like to use. You can get these from Shobi if your teacher shared them with you, or maybe if you've drawn some pictures. Then you're going to go to Book Creator, which looks like a rainbow app with a little pair of scissors on it. And you're going to start a new book. So choose New Book at the top. I advise you using one of these 3 types of books because they'll work best for this type of project. I'm going to choose Square. First thing you're going to do is create your cover. So you can choose a background by pressing the I, and you can choose from all these different types of backgrounds. So I'll choose one quickly. And then you can add in some photos. You might have a favourite photo of the day. I'm just going to pick the logo of the showground. You can add in a title by pressing the plus and choosing Add Text. So you can type in Countryside Day 2025. At the moment, my text is super boring. So anytime you want to change anything in Book Creator, go to the I, and you can change the size, you can change the font, and you can change the colour. You can make it as big or as little as long as it is readable by your audience. So I'm also going to put that in the middle there. You can add in some other pictures. I'm going to add in some drawing. So if I press the plus, I'm going to choose pen. Now I'm not very good at drawing sheep, so I'm going to use, I could just draw the sheep myself using one of these 3 tools, but I'm going to use the auto draw here, and I'm going to draw a sheep. So Book Creator will try and recognise what you're drawing as long as it's sort of similar. If I give it some legs, maybe it will help. There we go. So I can now see some sheep. So I'm going to add in my sheep as well because I think they look cool, and I can change the colour of my sheep if I like. So I'm going to have some purple sheep. So you can choose your title, I'll just draw my sheep there. You can add your title, add some images, and that is your front cover. Once you've moved on to the pages, again, if you want to add a funky border, you can go and choose one of the borders from in here. But you want to tell your audience what you've been up to at Countryside Day. So I'm going to press the plus, and I'm going to add some text. And in here, you can write all about Countryside Day and what you've been doing. I'm going to go to a book I've previously made to show you an example. So you can write in a little paragraph about what you did at Countryside Day. You can add in some photos. So going to the plus and choosing photos, you can add those in. You can add in shapes like I've done to make your page look a bit more attractive by pressing more, and you choose shapes. You might even want to add a map of Countryside Day, which is in Kelso at the showground, so people can see where you went. You can also add voice notes. If you add in add sound, you might prefer to record your voice, and you can add that in as well. So here's an example of another page. You can add in shapes to add some thought bubbles or speech bubbles for bits that you've learned, and I've added some more shapes in here too. When you've finished, go back to My Books, which is at the top. So I'll show you that again. So you go back to My Books at the top, and it takes you back to your bookshelf. And then you're going to choose the sharing arrow at the bottom. If you've got sound, it's really important that you export it as an EPUB or as a video, because otherwise your sound won't work. If you've just got images and text, you can export as a PDF. So if you export as an EPUB, you can look in your iBooks and see it, or you can export as a video, and then you can share it with lots of other people. Have fun. We'd love to see some of the things that you've been up to and what you have learnt when you were at Countryside Day.